Now that was a nice little project. In amongst the thousands of comments I get on the back of the how-to videos, I also get a lot of comments asking me to show updates on how they're getting on. So today I'm going to revisit some of my more recent projects to show you how they're faring. So I'm going to start with this one, although it's not a recent project, but while I'm standing next to it, I might as well mention it because this has been so useful just as storage on my patio. As you can see, I've got fold-up chairs and tarpaulins and all kinds of bits and pieces in it. But quality-wise, it's pretty much the same as the day I left it. That would have been, was it 1 year ago or 2 years ago? Obviously, it's faded somewhat in the sun, and it's about time that I either painted it or stained it. I think I'm going to paint it grey to match the anthracite of my house. But, you know, it's not doing too bad. Seeing that it was just feather edge, you can see some of the brown is still there, where it's just managed to stay out of the sun a little bit. And it's still working as it should, and pretty watertight as well. So really happy with that. And I think in the future, I'll find that I'll end up building another one to contain cushions of that when I buy some outdoor furniture, which I've not done so far, but that's definitely on the radar. So what are we going to look at next? The raised bed. And I want to show you the raised bed, not so much to show you the timber work, because it only went in 2 months ago, so nothing's really changed, but just to have a look at the plants. Have a look at this. So although it's been rained on, it hasn't really been hit by the weather much, but it has had a lot of sun, but it's kept its colour. So far, that stain that I didn't really take to is, I suppose, doing its job. And if you saw the video, you would have seen that I put a conduit from one side of the garden to the other to supply the low voltage lighting, as I predicted as well. But now you can't even see where I dug up the grass to lay it. It was actually a trench along here, and there's no evidence of it ever being there. So really happy with that. I'm glad that I put in the effort to make it. And while I'm here, I'll just show you this other planter that you might recognise from a couple of years ago. I made these over 3 years ago now. I made a double one, which I don't think I showed on video. Recently I've painted them again, just rubbed them down very quickly, just painted them. And I've put some casters on this one because I've filled it with jasmine. And off camera, I've just made a little bit of a trellis, which is now climbing up almost daily. It's advancing towards the top there. So hopefully at some point, probably next summer, I'm going to have a whole load of jasmine there, smelling really quite nice. I've shown you these sort of updates before, but this is just plain timber. It's not treated in any way and just painted with those garden shades. And really, after 3 years, I think that is doing exceptionally well. Sticking with the theme of planting, let's go and see a bit of an update on something that many people requested. Which is the green wall on the side of my garage, which only went in just over a month ago. And look how it's filled out. It's only when you really go back to the old footage where you can actually see the difference before and after. And I also had a lot of comments about where the water was going to go after it dripped all the way down. I put the plastic at the back so that it didn't affect the garage, but at the bottom it was going to collect all in one place. And there was a lot of comments where people are saying I'm going to destroy my foundations and what have you. What I didn't tell you during the video was I always had this plan to put a bed at the bottom. So what I've done is right at the bottom where the water comes down this plastic, I've actually put another bed in here that basically collects that water, and all of these plants are basically being fed off the water that's dripping down the back and down the plastic. And they've only been in maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, but they're doing okay. So that finishes off the project quite nicely. And I must say it's really looking quite lush now with that new compost and being watered on a timer every day. Everything's really filled out and grown like blimming crazy. I've also had comments from passers-by when I've just been out here just sort of weeding and just tidying it up, how much they like it. So it's really quite nice. Another project that I published a video on at the end of May is the installation of my aluminium pergola. This came from the range, and essentially you put it together yourself. Although I did it on my own, it would have been far easier with two people, because some of these members are fairly long. These are 3 meters and this whole width is 4 meters, so it starts getting a little bit challenging on your own. And once again, because I put it in at the end of May, obviously it hasn't been snowed on, it hasn't really been abused. I am really glad though that I actually connected it up here on blocks to the house. So this leg is actually fixed to the house, so that's not going anywhere. I mean, it would appear to me that these type of metal pergolas, the more you pay, the thicker you get. So if you really want a heavyweight one that's going to sit alone in a garden in a windy position and stay there for years, I think you need to pay a little bit more money than I did. These sort of lightweight aluminium ones, I think you really need to bolt them to something. At least if I bolted them to the floor and to the house, it's got very little chance of going anywhere, because it does get quite windy here, and obviously in the winter things will get a little bit more exciting, I'm sure. I did have some comments off the video that because it's got a metal roof, when the sun comes out, I'm going to feel that radiating, that heat radiating off the roof. Well, I've not found that to be an issue so far, but it could be that I'm just in the UK, so it never really gets that sunny and hot. But I can imagine if you had something like this in Spain, in the Mediterranean or Florida or whatever, you could feel hotter underneath it than if it didn't exist at all. But I think in the UK it's absolutely fine. 2 months after the delivery of the pergola from the range, I finally received the 3 meter side blind that I actually ordered at the same time, which is now fitted. Other than a bit of rain and wind, the movable opening slats haven't really been put to the test yet. But it has given me somewhere to get out of the sun over the last couple of months when I've been working outside. And I'm so glad I bought it and installed it. The modern powder coated finish really suits the back of the house and breaks up what was a very long flat rear wall. And you call me a monkey, yeah? Anyway, I've just popped up here quickly to show you this slat wall, which was a really popular video, and the project turned out pretty well. I did have a lot of comments, and these are the sort of things I get weekly, saying, why waste your time putting a backing board on and the black material? Why didn't you just paint the wall black and pin the slats directly to the wall? Well, I suppose you could. However, at some point it's going to go out of date. And because it's on the backing board, I can take all of this down in about 10 minutes. And all I'm going to be left with is maybe 10 or 12 holes that I can just fill with a bit of filler, paint over, and I'm back to a perfect wall. If I'd painted it black, that causes you problems trying to get it back to white. I don't know how many coats of white you'd need to put on to get it back to white. Probably quite a few. And also, if you're going to pin each one of these slats multiple times into the plasterboard, you're going to end up with literally hundreds or thousands of pinhead damage all over your plasterboard. How you ever repair that, I don't know. So I'm really glad I did it this way, and it took a little bit more time, but it's worked out really well. The other comment I did have from a few people was this material in here is going to pick up a lot of dust and it's just end up as a dust magnet. Well, I've not found that at all. And if it does, all I can do is get a vacuum with a narrow head and just sort of suck it out. But there's no dust there at the moment, so it's not really getting any dustier than anywhere else in your bedroom. So I don't really, at the moment, think that's going to be a problem. And I must admit, on the positive side, it's really transformed this bedroom and smartened it up and just made it a little bit nicer. When I do get comments asking to show how projects have gone or things around the garden, the one thing I guarantee you that I get comments on more than any other is my lawn. Now I'm going to show you my lawn, but the first thing I need to do is give it a cut. So these are my top 5 tips for a respectable looking lawn. Number 1, scarify heavily in spring. Number 2, reseed and feed with a good compost after scarifying. Number 3, don't cut it too short. You'll just scalp it and it won't look nice and green. Number 4, try to cut it twice a week when it's growing fast, May to July time, without changing the cutter height. And number 5, if it looks like it's not going to rain for a long spell, water sooner rather than later. And remember, looking after your lawn is a job with diminishing returns. So if you want a perfect looking bowling green, be prepared to give up your day job to spend enough time on it and to sell your children to cover the cost of all the chemicals you're going to need to throw at it weekly. So I think with the amount of work that I haven't really put into it, it's looking fairly respectable. Obviously there's weeds and there's bare patches coming just because we've got a lack of rain. But from a distance it looks fairly respectable, especially when the sun's out and you're looking at it from the south. So this year I'm more than happy with that. So other than scarifying and putting the compost down that you would have seen in the video in the spring and then watering it when it's been really dry, not really done anything else to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this update and having a look at how some of the projects have fared over the last months stroke years. Remember, check out my Patreon page and all the other videos on the channel. I will see you next time.